Hi, welcome to How to Repair. This video is on a Whirlpool 6 Sense condenser tumble dryer. I'm going to show you how to change the belt and also clear the error code. The video can also be used for Bauknecht, Laden and Maytag machines. If you notice that your clothes are damp and lying in the bottom of the machine, there is a good chance that the drum is not turning. By starting the machine and then quickly opening the door, you will be able to physically see if the drum is turning. Or you may have come back to the machine after a period of time and found that the machine is not working and the lights are flashing. This is called an error code. You can see this here in the top. The lights will start flashing, 2 red and 3 green. This is an error. This is basically shutting the machine down because one of the components isn't working correctly. To clear the error code, you need to turn the dial to the 6 o'clock position at the bottom, press the button 3 times, then advance it to the 7 o'clock position immediately and press it 3 times again. This will clear the error code. The first thing we need to do is remove the lid. 3 screws at the back, then tap the lid backwards and lift, and the lid comes away. Now you can physically see that the belt has gone. Basically the belt has snapped and fallen to the bottom of the machine. So what we're going to do is strip down the machine. I'm going to remove all the components on the front, the condenser, the water collection tray, and I'm also going to remove the door in a minute, just so we don't scratch it. Now there are 2 screws on the top of each panel, 1 screw at the base on each side, and then we have the screws at the rear of the machine. Remove all these screws, but please notice where the screws come from, as they are different lengths. While I'm doing this, I have put some links above which will either take you through to the full tutorial or to the selected part for your machine. In this case the belt is a 2010H7. Now I'm removing the door, as I said, not to scratch it, but I'm also removing the 2 screws on the other side. This loosens the front panel so I can remove the side panels in a minute. Just take off the 2 hoses at the back which go to the pump. You'll see all about the pump in another video. 1 screw on the top, 1 screw on the bottom, and then the panel just lifts up and comes away. Now we can remove the screws on each side panel and remove the side panels. The side panels are held on to the front panel with some clips which I'll show you in a minute. Just have to do the wiring on the left hand side. They're just plastic clips. You need to press them and then the wiring harness will come away from the panel. There's the old belt. As you can see, it's snapped. And now we'll do the other side. Do remember, when ordering parts you need to either use the number off the old belt or the model number of the machine, and in some cases you will need the serial number as well, which is normally a 12-digit number. Here are the clips that hold the side panel to the front panel. You just need to lift the panel slightly and it will come away. The next thing we're going to do is remove the back bearing. Straightforward cover, held on with 1 screw, and then you need to use a socket to remove the nut, and then remove the 2 other screws. This will remove the bearing cover, and then you can slide the bearing off the shaft. Next thing we need to do is remove the screws from the base of the machine that you can see here, and we're also going to remove the heater cover. By removing the heater cover, this will reveal 5 hidden screws at the base of the heating element. This will allow us to ease the panel back, allowing us to get the new belt on. Now while I'm doing this, I did say there are links above on the information button, which will take you through to the website where you can acquire your new belt. or see the full tutorial and other tutorials on Whirlpool 6-cents tumble dryers. I've also added a lot of useful links below which will help you repair your appliance on any type of fault that you have, and also some other links to selected areas within the website to help you repair other appliances. Now that we have the back panel loose, we need to remove the fan blade cover. This is held on with 2 clips that you just press. And the next job we have to do, because the shaft is so long on this machine, going all the way to the back, we can't just slide the belt over. We have to loosen the motor. So by undoing the 2 screws you can see here that hold the motor to the chassis, we're going to gain about ½ centimeter to 1 centimeter, which will allow us to put the belt over the fan blade and slide it down the shaft into the correct groove alignment on the pulley. Doing it this way will save you an awful lot of time. Now, as I said earlier, belts have numbers on it. The first part of the number on this belt was 2010. This is the length of the belt in millimeters. The H7 is how many ribs the belt has on it. This will help you identify the correct belt. Now, as you saw there, I'm just putting the belt over the fan onto the shaft, then just easing the motor slightly towards you will allow you to slide the belt down so it lines up on the pulley. Now we need to put the belt round the drum. Just take your time and don't force it. There is enough room with the tensioner off. Get the belt square on the drum. We need to now undo the tension spring to pull the belt over the pulley wheel. This is what gives the belt its tension onto the drum. Just rotate the drum slightly, make sure the belt's all lining up. Now we'll leave that as it is until we actually get the back panel fixed on correctly. Right, first thing we need to do is line the panel up. The panel sits onto the base with a lug. Now, I don't recommend using your electric screwdriver when replacing these screws, as they're going into plastic and you want to make sure that all the screws line up first before tightening them. After we've done this, we will replace the bearing. The other thing to notice is when fitting the belt, make sure that the rib side of the belt is going face down onto the drum. Now you need to line up the collection tray to come through the panel, as you can see here, and the shaft is coming through the back panel. Also, it's worth noting to make sure that the front of the drum is sitting on its runners correctly. Just replace the bearing and the cover. And when doing the nut up, make sure you support the drum and just do it up hand tight and a little nip on it, 1/4 turn suffice. While I'm doing this, please remember to support the website by buying your parts from us. As I said, there's links above in the information button and also in the description, which will take you through to the belt section and the belt that we used in this video. And if you have the part already, you can always hit the donation button in the links above and below. Also supports the website. Now we're going to line up the belt and make sure the drum is turning freely before putting the spring on. Now, when tensioning the motor and getting the spring on, I use a screwdriver, as you can see here, but make sure you do not put the shaft of the screwdriver anywhere near the windings on the motor, as you wouldn't want to damage that. And now we're just going to replace the 2 screws that hold the motor in place. These can be done up before you put the spring on. Now that's all done, we're just going to rotate the drum, and if you find it's not quite lining up, you just move the belt up or down the pulley to line up with the old marks on the drum. Now that's all lining up correctly. We just need to replace the fan blade cover. Just pushes into place and locks. We'll replace the heating cover at the back now, and the pump cover. As I said, you will find other videos at the website showing you how the heater system works and how the pump unit works, and also any problems that you have with the machine, different error codes for this machine. Just replace the door, and we'll put the water collection tray and the condenser in. Now it's a good idea with the condensers to clean them out, and also it's worth hoovering the machine out before actually putting it back together. Just use a soft brush and make sure you remove all the fluff and dust out of the machine. And now we've got it all together, I'm just going to show you it working. Make sure the wiring is out of the way, but you shouldn't really do this until you've got the machine fully assembled. But just for video purposes I'm showing you, and as you can see, all working perfect there. And now what we'll do is just quickly put the two panels on. Disconnect the appliance from the electricity again. Now these panels slide back on to the lugs, and you need to slightly push the panel forward, as you can see I do here, to make sure that all the lugs go on correctly. If you don't get them on correctly, you will end up with the drum or the chassis of the machine being slightly twisted, and therefore it might not be running correctly. Now this is something people do forget, and this is a common fault with this machine. This cover actually sits on top of the circuit board. Now the reason this cover is here is to stop any moisture running down onto the electrics. As you can well imagine, a tumble dryer creates a lot of moisture, and this strip of aluminium sits over the top of the circuit board. So if you've got this in an outhouse or a garage and a lot of condensation inside the machine, this will stop any drips going anywhere near the electrics. Now, as you saw at the beginning of the video, we cleared the error code, and there you go, the machine's all working again. And as I said, please remember to support the website, and if you found this video helpful, please remember you can always donate to the website by buying us a beer. Thanks very much indeed for watching this video, and I hope you found it helpful.